makes you feel like you're a literal king. I could breathe in this car, and usually I'd be the person that would fight for the seat in the front. In this car, I don't mind sitting in any of these seats. Look at that, you could literally fit a bed in here and sleep in this car. Mr. Beast, if you're watching this video, let's do a video where I spend a year in this car. I feel like it's just a mix of all your favorite cars in one. The screen in the front reminds me of a Mercedes. Feel of their leather feels like a Range Rover. It gives me a nice drive like a Nissan petrol. But right now we're running on a V6, so I can imagine how this car would actually perform in the desert as well. Does it do the turn by itself? Ah! I can't trust it, bro. Meet the Infiniti QX80 2025 Autograph Edition. Valued at 433,000 dirhams. Let's see if this car can compete with the Nissan Petrols, the Escalades, or the Germans. Let's start off with the exterior, especially the front grille. First things first, with the Infiniti logo, as you can see, there's actually an LED strip right here. So this turns on, which is pretty cool. Then you have a more dominant front grille, hard plastic, cool, glossy as well. Then you come here, you have piano key headlights. Well, these aren't your main ones. These are actually your main headlights right here. And under your headlights, you have a vent that actually works. It's not just for aesthetics. It actually does its job. It has its purpose. So coming here, now we have the rims here. They look absolutely beautiful. Look at that. I don't know much about the wheels, so we're gonna explore this car together. Like I said in the beginning, what does it say? 22-inch rims. Pretty sick, pretty sick. Come here, of course, you get a step for your car. And fun fact, this car, when you open the door, it lowers its suspension, so it gets easier for you to access the car, which is beautiful, right? And of course, you have Autograph signature everywhere. Look at the Autograph right here. It's done beautifully. Then you come back and you have this. People would say that it's boxy, but I think this looks better than the Nissan Petrol 2025 because that's extremely boxy. And this one right here at least has a bit of its character, right? I feel like it follows the same format as in the front. It has the piano key style of headlights. Let's see if we can get some sort of light going on. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. This car is all black. The Autograph Edition kind of is pretty unique. I don't feel like you'll see anyone on the road with this car. I at least haven't seen anyone on the road. Okay, so first things first, before we even get in, as you can see, I didn't even have to press anything on the remote and the door handles came out. But before we even step in, the door handles, these kind of remind me of the door handles in the Range Rover. They just step out, which is very nice and convenient. And like I said before, since this car is massive and your presence is felt by everyone, you need to have a step so you can get in because it makes you feel like you're a literal king, right? But one thing I did realize about this car that it doesn't have, let's see if you'll notice. There's no soft closing. You're in 2025 and there's no soft closing. That's insane. All right, so step inside and you can just feel the luxury. Let's start off with the 14.3-inch screens across, including your digital cockpit. Right under that, you find a 9.3-inch screen. And fun fact, this has haptic feel. When you press on it, it gives you that feeling. Like, I can't describe it, but it just feels insane. Other than that, we have our AC vents, pretty cool. Heated and ventilated seats, much needed in this country. Over here, we have two cup holders, right? And right here, we have actually a wireless charging. And to make sure that when you're charging your phone, you don't end up using it, you can close it. Inside here, we have a fridge. That's pretty cool. And fun fact, this fridge only comes with the Autograph Edition. Besides that, in the front, we also have some storage space right here. If you could look right here, there's some storage space. But anyways, if we could get into the screen, let's look at the camera, right? Here we have a reverse camera, 3D camera of the entire car. It has a 3D model, which is just beautiful. You know, a front and back. And fun fact, and the same button that's used for the camera, if you actually just hold it, it lowers the brightness, just like your phone. And besides that, right next to that, you have the auto suspensions. You can go up and down, and also the gear, I would assume. You'd call that PRN and drive. I'm not the biggest fan of that, just buttons. Some people may be a big fan of it, but I'm not really a fan of that. I feel like it's just, I don't know, you kind of like a gear shift a little bit, you know? Kind of have it still like a car. Right now I just feel like I'm in some game, you know? But anyways, When you look up there, you find a panoramic roof, which is necessary when you're at a car this high, so you can see the stars because you're extremely close to them. Other things worthy of mentioning is actually the sound system, which you can see here on the sides and on your headrest. They're Klipsch sound systems. Funny thing is, its competitor actually has the exact same sound system. That's the Nissan Petrol 2025 has the exact same sound system. So at that point, at least just make a baby and have another one, you know, have another car together instead of copying each other. But anyways, besides the point, these are great speakers, sound beautiful. And we could talk about how we have Alcantara or Suede, but I'm pretty sure it's Alcantara, which is nice. I think usually they come in two-tone, or at least the interior is in two-tone, and then the roof. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with this color combination. Let's talk about the main part. If you're the driver, you're gonna be touching this steering wheel a lot, but the steering wheel can actually control everything in front of you. And it has 2 different levels of driving assist and autopilot 2.1. So we're updated here. And let's jump into the back. First things first, before we get into all of the technology that's here, look at the seating, extremely comfortable. I have so much space between my knees and the front seat and the headspace. Even if I decide to like sit really straight, I still have a lot of headspace and a lot of leg room. And so I can breathe in this car. And usually I'd be the person that would fight for the seat in the front. But in this case, I don't mind sitting in any of these seats and maybe even the back. We'll get into the back in a second. But let's talk about these seats right here. These have ventilated and heated seats, which is very necessary in today's world in this country, right? Let's talk about the front here. This has the same system as any normal car. But its unique feature is when you come right here, they actually have an iPad, which you can't remove, but it's still here, that gives you all the settings that's necessary. So the climate, ventilated, heated seats, and seat adjustment with massage seats and the settings for this thing. Cool. Other than that, right here, we have storage space. Could fit a lot. It's not a fridge like the one in front, but you don't need one in the back here, with 2 cup holders as usual. And cool thing about the climate here, this car actually has something called biometric cooling, which means that it has sensors to identify what's your body temperature to whether heat or cool depending on your temperature. So it's always going to be perfect. What else do you need? This is just amazing so far. Let's check out the trunk space that we have in this car. Once it's opened, over here, it doesn't look like much, and it really isn't. This is 22 cubic feet of storage. But what's good about this is that right here, we have buttons firstly for the suspension, up and down, and secondly to push all of these seats forward, to fold them. So let's do that first. Thank God it actually is electric, so I have to do it myself, and it'll just do it for me. Once that's done, now we have 59 cubic feet of storage. This is already a lot, but you probably didn't know that it could do this. Now it has the second row folded. With the second row folded and the third row and what we already had in the back, this is now 101 cubic feet worth of storage. Look at that, you could literally fit a bed in here and sleep in this car. Mr. Beast, if you're watching this video, let's do a video where I spend a year in this car. I'll be able to win, but you just have to give me $1 million afterwards. But yeah, that's very cool. What else do we have here that are worthy of mentioning? Of course, here we have a vault, electricity outlet, and hooks here for some reason. Let's test out the suspensions actually, that'll be very interesting. So let's lower the suspension. There you go, you hear it. It is dropping. It's actually dropping by a lot, right? So with the suspensions dropped, you can now literally just get in here comfortably. You don't need to actually do much. Let's put it back up. Yeah, now it's going up. What a roller coaster ride. All right, so let's take this car out for a drive right now. And before we get into the details, make sure you guys actually subscribe, like, and share, because if you guys are enjoying this video, we'll keep making more videos for you guys, more car reviews. So the older model of this Infiniti actually used to have a V8, but right now we're running on a V6, but with 50 horsepower more. Before it was 400 horsepower, and now it's 450 horsepower. And 516 pound-feet of torque, which is very strong. This means that it could actually tow 8,500 pounds. That's a lot. That's a lot. 8,500 pounds. I don't know what kind of car or truck you'll be pulling out, but you could pull out a lot. Okay, so far the throttle and the brake calibration is very good. You know, you can't really complain much. The drive feels smooth, and even though yes, it did go to a V6, it still sounds beautiful. I know it doesn't matter about the end. Well, it does matter with the engine, but it's more of the exhaust system. So they did well with the exhaust systems on this car. Hear that? Wow. You know, that's actually pretty nice. Besides that, when you look at the front of the car, it could be me, but it just reminds me of like Batman. You know, the symbol of Batman, and just looks like the front of the car, which is pretty sick. I do feel massive, like I'm about to just, you know, like I could just take a right turn right now and I don't have to stop for anyone, they all have to stop for me, but which is pretty sick. So you feel like the king on the road. Let's actually try some lane assist, I think. I don't know if this is lane assist. What happens if we turn? Doof, hits the car. Okay, so far, now we're actually using the Autopilot 2.1. I mean, it's kind of weird. I've never been in a car that just drives by itself, but it's doing well. I kept correcting in the lanes, and when I need to switch lanes, it'll probably do it by itself too. But besides the point, yet again, it's just very weird for me. I've never been in a car where it just drives itself, and I'm used to, you know, having my hands on the steering wheel, but not having them on the steering wheel, like, just feels very, very weird, you know? See, it vibrated. So, well, I'm assuming it has lane assist as well, which means that if I try to merge into another lane without my indicators, it will start vibrating. So make sure you're always awake and paying attention to the road. Oh, why are you screaming at me? Okay, hold up, let's try again. So, let's do this. Set. Oh, it's doing it. Does it do the turn by itself? I can't trust it, bro. I mean, I am not pressing on the brakes, that's for sure. I think it's just on cruise control. Let's just take a speed bump. Let's see how the speed bumps feel. Barely felt anything. One thing I would actually say about this car is that it gives me a feel, whether it's only look-wise or actually how it drives, of different cars. So the screen in the front reminds me of a Mercedes, right? The screen right here, which is under for the seat ventilation and so on, reminds me of the Range Rover. And so does the feel of their leather, feels like a Range Rover, right? And it gives me a nice drive like a Nissan petrol. So I feel like it's just a mix of all your favorite cars in one. And yeah, I mean, everything works perfect. Fuel consumption, especially since it's a V6 now and a drop from a V8, you are probably saving a hefty amount on fuel, because from what I know, at least here in the UAE, a Nissan petrol with a V8, you're probably filling it 100 dirhams every 2 days, right? Which will get you around 260 kilometers on it. So, because it just drinks it. But we started off on 30, and right now we're on 25, and we did go quite a while. We went around in circles and circles trying to explore all of this car and, you know, feel the power. Look at this, look at this, look at this. It pushes is strong. So I can imagine how this car would actually perform in the desert as well. That would be so nice. We're gonna end it right here. If you guys liked this video, make sure you guys subscribe, like, and share. And comment what was your favorite feature about this Infiniti QX80 and what car you guys would like to see next.